also at school today, but I guess we have a lot of homework to do. You know something, Laura? I think the thing I like most about school is doing special class projects, because everybody gets to work on them together.
Yeah, me too, sometimes.
Yeah, I'm glad the class chose to write a play and then to act it out on stage, because we never done that before.
Yeah, but to write a play about the story of Cinderella, that's no big deal.
Well, we'll all have to participate to make it come out really well. Oh, come on, Laura, what's wrong with you?
Listen, Delia, if we have to do a play, why do we have to do one that's so babyish?
Well, because that's the story the class chose. And the important thing is to cooperate and to participate in everything, like the writing and the acting and the set designing and the costuming and everything. I want to play Cinderella, and I'm going to try out for the part.
You must be kidding. What do you want to do that for? That's a kid's story.
It's not just a kid's story. It's a class project, Laura, and I like it. Besides, it'll be interesting to study a character and to try to become that character, like the teacher explained.
Oh, you're becoming as silly as Cinderella.
And you're becoming impossible. You just refuse to understand. I'm going to study that character, and I'm not going to make her look silly.
You mean you're actually going to waste your time on this? I saw that movie a long time ago, and the whole thing is unreal. Listen, if that's the play we're going to do, I'd rather spend my time at softball practice and become the most valuable player on the team.
Oh, Laura, you're impossible. It's not that I don't like softball. It's just I like to do other things, different things. Besides, the important thing is to participate, and I'm going to. I like plays, and I think acting is a lot of fun. And I think playing the part of Cinderella is going to be interesting, too.
Well, maybe acting is all right, but what's so interesting about doing a play about someone like Cinderella?
Well, Cinderella was a young woman who had to face very difficult problems and deal with some terrible people. And I think that'll be interesting to play a part like that.
Well, it's still a kid's story with all those mice running around and pumpkins turning into coaches. It's nothing more
Oh,
than...
I used to think like that when I was a kid, but it can be more than that, and I see the story differently.
It's silly, mushy, and a bunch of kid stuff.
Well, you refuse to understand because you've closed your mind, and you haven't even been listening to what I've been saying.
Well, if that's the way you feel, you just have to find someone else to talk to.
That suits me just fine. Mommy, I've decided to play Cinderella in the school play, and Laura's...
Yes, Delia, that's very nice, but can we talk about that later? Yes, I reached the wrong number by mistake. I'd like credit for that. Yes.
I would love to go to the ball, Fairy Godmother, but I can't because my stepmother says I can't go until I do all of my work, and I could never finish in time. Besides, I have nothing to wear and no transportation to get there. Oh! Mami, ¿me dejas ir a la biblioteca? Tengo mucho trabajo que hacer.
See?
Hi, everybody.
Hello.
Hey, Delia, I just saw Laura. She wants you to call her.
She knows I'm not speaking to her.
Delia, ¿por qué ya no tú le hablas a Laura?
You see, Mommy, that's what I tried to tell you before. See, our class is putting on a play about Cinderella, and I want to play the part of Cinderella. So, she says that everything's just a waste of time. The whole thing is a waste of time, and she called me silly for wanting to get involved. So I'm not speaking to her. For a while.
Well, anyway, she says she wants you to call her right now.
Well, I can't call her right now because I'm going to the library. I'll call her later.
And you have an assignment?
Well, you see, the class is going to put on a play about the story of Cinderella, and the play is going to be written and acted out on stage by the class. So everything's being done by our class. And the teacher said you have to try out for parts. And in order to do that, you have to write a small scene on the character you're interested in playing.
Oh, y tú tienes que escribir tu propia escena. Qué chévere.
And she also said to write a good scene and to create a real character, you have to imagine everything about that character.
Oh.
Like, you have to imagine the way they look and move and behave and talk. And to do that, you have to do research and get all the information you need. Let's say, for example, if you want to play the part of the mean stepmother or one of the mean stepsisters, you would have to imagine the way they look or move or talk. Even if you want to play one of the mice, you have to observe and study how mice behave.
Ya veo. Now, maybe, Delia, you should consider your choice of roles again. You may never have another chance to play a mouse.
Mommy. Hey, Mommy, I want to go to the library to look up everything about Cinderella. So can I go?
I think it's a very good class project. Okay, run along, but make sure you're back early.
Okay, goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Laura is right. The whole thing is silly.
Oh, well, Angel, I just think Laura probably has her own ideas about what class projects she'd like to do and about what plays she'd like the class to perform. But I bet you she really does like the idea of the class creating something on their own and being able to watch your friends perform it.
Yeah, but it's a waste of time pretending that you're someone that you really aren't, especially if it's a mouse.
Well, Angel, you're right about that. It's not good to pretend you're someone that you aren't. But in a play, you can put yourself in somebody else's position to see what it's like. And that can be very good. You can learn a lot about people by trying to see through their eyes. Remember Richard Hansen when he first moved into this neighborhood? How hard it was for you to understand why he acted the way he did. Well, when you put yourself in his position and you thought about all the things that he'd been through, wasn't it easier for you to understand him then?
Sure it was.
And besides, think of all the things that you learn about and experience. Things that you'd never have the chance to do. It could be a lot of fun.
Yeah, but putting on Cinderella wouldn't be my idea for any class project. Now maybe a show about Bruce Lee.
She's a blonde. I don't look anything like Cinderella. They'll never pick me to play the part.
Tomorrow, sunny and warm with the highs in the 80s. A chance of rain 20% tonight, 10% for tomorrow and tomorrow night. Presently, it's 68 degrees outside our studio. One group of state officials today approved a contract for production of
Did you finish your homework?
Sí, mami.
And the state gaming commission later today is expected to give
What about you, Delia?
authorization.
¿Tú hiciste tus asignaciones?
Delia spent the whole afternoon at the library doing research.
¿De verdad? ¿Y qué tú estabas investigando, Delia?
Just homework.
La clase de Delia va a presentar La Cenicienta. Y Delia fue a la biblioteca a buscar información para preparar una escena. Que Delia quiere probarse para el papel de La Cenicienta y tiene que escribir su propia escena. ¿Qué les parece?
Eso me parece estupendo. Imagínate a mí que me encanta el teatro y luego, si Delia es la actriz en esa obra, me va a gustar mucho más. Luis, ¿te acuerdas cuando íbamos al Tapi allá en San Juan?
Claro que sí. En los matinés en el Teatro Tapia. Eso no se me va a olvidar nunca, don Manuel.
Tenemos que llevar a Delia y Ángel al Tapia la próxima vez que vayamos a Puerto Rico.
Pues mire, que eso es muy buena idea, ¿sabes? Estoy seguro que a ustedes dos les va a gustar mucho. Muchísimo. El Teatro Tapia es un teatro antiguo y muy bonito. El más antiguo de Puerto Rico, sí. It was designed by this Spanish architect. And it was named after Alejandro Tapia y Rivera. That was the first great Puerto Rican playwright. Yeah. But over the years, the inside of the theater changed. It changed a lot. And now they have reconstructed, right? They reconstructed the Tapia Theater, and I am told that it looked exactly the way it looked when it was first built. De verdad, a mí me lo han dicho, que ha quedado bien bonito, bien bonito.
You know what? We have been very lucky en Puerto Rico. Quiero decir, hemos tenido la suerte de haber gozado de una gran herencia teatral. No solamente cuando los grandes autores españoles, sino que aún hoy en día nuestros grandes dramaturgos tienen esa chispa, esa variedad que es característica de nuestras artes. ¿Y saben ustedes por qué es eso? Precisamente porque las bellas artes son como un reflejo de lo que está viviendo un pueblo en diferentes épocas, ¿ves? La pintura, la música, el teatro mismo nos dicen el modo de pensar de un pueblo, lo que lo hace gozar, lo que lo hace reír y lo que lo hace sufrir también y llorar. ¿No te parece que es así, Luis?
Sí, definitivamente. Mire, don Manuel Seno Gandía y don Manuel Méndez Ballester, ¿cómo era que se llamaba el de Calle? Don Miguel Meléndez Muñoz.
Sí.
These writers, they always wrote about how they saw life in Puerto Rico, and what they thought about it.
And Francisco Arribi, one of the costumbristas, his plays told you much about the ways of the island and about the folklore.
Me gustaría volver al Tapia y ver la carreta de René Márquez. Ay, cómo me gustaría, a lo mejor tendré la felicidad algún día de ver a Delia en el papel de Juanita.
¿O en algún teatro aquí?
Sí.
Pero por ahora, Delia debe pensar en la Cenicienta más linda del mundo.
I don't think I'm going to try out for the part. I think Laura's right. It's all just kid stuff anyway.
Hey, Apollo, what's the careta about?
Oh, eso es una obra que me gustaría mucho que ustedes dos vieran. Esa obra trata de la vida de una familia en Puerto Rico. ¿Te acuerdas de aquella escena que siempre te llamó mucho la atención a ti?
Sí, yo era bien joven cuando la escena de, ¿cómo se llamaba aquel señor? Don Luis Vera. Don Luis Vera, que cogía la tierra al final y era como si tuviera la tierra del hombre de la tierra puertorriqueño, ¿no? Sí. Mira, usted diciendo lo de que si te gustaría ver a Delia en el papel de Juanita, pensándolo bien, Delia se parece a la actriz aquella. De ella no me acuerdo el nombre.
Muchacho, Mirna Vázquez.
Mirna Vázquez.
Yo he pensado en eso muchas veces, sí.
¿Está diciendo eso?
Parecido físico.
No me recordaba de
Y si llegara a ser una actriz como esa señora actriz.
Y la señora esa que hacía el papel.
Ay, ¿te acuerdas? Es un buen papel que de la carreta Jacobo Morales. Sí.
Don Jacobo Morales, mire, ese señor, yo a veces lo veo a él.
¿De quién tú me ibas a hablar ahora? Perdón.
No, de la señora, la actriz mayor, que era de los tiempos de radio de Puerto Rico. Lucy.
Ángel. Ángel. Ángel, you've got to lend me $1.
¿Por qué?
Because you've got to.
¿Para qué?
Porque lo necesito.
I've got to know what you need it for. I don't lend out my money just for anything.
Okay, but you gotta keep it a secret. You see, I want to play Cinderella in the school play. And to be Cinderella, you have to be blonde. So, I'm gonna dye my hair blonde.
You wouldn't dare.
Lend me the money and you'll see.
Okay, this I've got to see. 50.
Norma! Norma! I have something important to tell you. What?
Well, these instructions seem clear, but we better get started because we have to finish before my mother gets home. Are you sure you want to do it?
Yeah.
Well, I guess you're right. If you want to be Cinderella, you have to be a blonde. Okay, let's do it. I don't know what you want to be a blonde for.
It looks nice, doesn't it? Well, I guess I'm not used to being a blonde.
What will your mother say?
Laura, what will she say?
I don't know.
I think I should go home.
Yeah, I guess. My mother will be home any minute, and I don't think she should see you like that.
I think I should cover my hair until I can explain to my mother. Can you lend me something?
Here, use this.
No, this won't work.
How about a pillowcase?
I can't wear that. Don't you have a kerchief?
No, I never wear one. I know. You can use my storm cap. There, that looks fine. Now you can go. Bye.
Yo veo el punto de Tom Seaver. El punto de Tom Seaver es que él es un lanzador de la categoría. Bueno, no de la categoría, de hecho superior a Carter Shonter, pero Carter Shonter le están pagando una suma de dinero que Tom Seaver no le gana ni siquiera una cuarta parte de lo que gana. Y de hecho, Eduardito Figueroa, que está con los Yankees, este año mucho mejor
Delia,
que Carter Shonter.
is that you?
¿Y cuánto se gana Eduardito Figueroa?
Yes, Mommy.
Figueroa lo que está ganando tal vez una miseria contra. Se gana el income tax que paga Carter Shonter y sin embargo Eduardito Figueroa está lanzando Candelaria. No, eso tiene 7 ganados y 1 perdido, Candelaria, con los Piratas de Pittsburgh, o sea que le llegó otro puertorriqueño, se le fue a Roberto Clemente y le llegó Candelaria.
Delia, come out. You've held up dinner long enough. You didn't have permission to stay at Laura's that long. We'll have to talk about that.
Hacerse pagar lo que vale.
Le van a pagar este
Lo que
año
hizo Bobby Fischer en el febrero.
lo que hizo Bobby Fischer, o sea, como es que dice por aquí, ahora sí que le subió el precio a los huevos, ¿no? Pues eso es lo que están haciendo ellos. ¿Qué es justo? Con permiso. Mire, jovencita, en esta casa nosotros tratamos de ser puntual, los unos con los otros. Hace mucho rato que usted debió haber estado aquí.
Perdóname, papi.
Muy bien, estás perdonada, siéntate. Porque el mismo Roberto Clemente nunca estuvo en esa categoría de salario. Claro que él jugaba con otros propósitos y en otra ciudad, ¿no? Una ciudad con...
Lo hiciste. Gee, you've got guts.
What have you done?
The teacher said that we had to study the character we wanted to play in order to become that character. Mommy, I want to play Cinderella, and in order to be Cinderella, you have to be a blonde.
Well, Doris, what seems to be the problem?
Why did you insist that Cinderella had to be a blonde?
I assure you I never mentioned such a thing. Delia, where did you get such an idea? Did I ever say anything about Cinderella having to be blonde?
Well, you never said that, but...
But what, Delia?
Well, you suggested that in order to get into the character we wanted to play, we should imagine the moves, speech, thoughts, and look of that character. And well, I did. And I went to the library to do the research, like you said, and I found that in all the pictures in the books and in the movies, Cinderella was a blonde, and all the other princesses were blondes too.
Delia, why didn't you tell me that before? Last week, at a community activity, I heard a speaker discuss children's literature. She pointed out that the majority of the existing books and stories for children are geared toward the Anglo middle-class child. They present images that are totally irrelevant to children of different backgrounds. That's why Delia thought as she did.
You know, that's so true, Doris. Delia, Cinderella's not a blonde. There's no reason why she has to be a blonde. She's only a character. What you saw in those books was the picture, the ideas that other people hold of Cinderella. The important thing is how you write your scene and how you make that character come to life through your interpretation. I'm really looking forward to seeing you do that scene, Delia.
I'll start working on it right away.
Toma, Doris. ¿Quieres hacerme ese?
Guess what?
You got the part.
You play Cinderella?
I knew it. Oh, yo le voy a hacer el traje más bello del mundo para esta Cinderella.
Well, I better go upstairs now and practice. The performance is only a couple of weeks away, and you're all invited.
Well, I guess she did a very good job on her presentation.
As good a job as she did on her hair. Well, anyway, it's good to have our Delia back,
That's
right?
That's right.
Mrs. Lawson's glass slipper. Whoever fits shall be my queen. Will you try it on for me?
Of course I will. It fits. It fits.
You shall be my queen.
Bravo, Delia, bravo!
Costume you made for her?
It's even lovelier on stage.
La Cenicienta no es linda. No está mala actriz tampoco, ¿sabes?